First, I want to just say thanks to the Excellent Cultures team for the opportunity to be here today, and thank you in advance. And a little bit of history on GM Nameplate, as you mentioned. It was an organization that was started back in 1954, and since then, they were at that time just what the name says. They were a nameplate manufacturing company, and since then, it's grown to a global organization, and it's something that I'm very proud to be part of. I've been a member of GM Nameplate since 2002. And in 2005, I was asked to lead the aerospace business segment. As Steve mentioned, aerospace is just one of the industries that we support. Very heavy into medical, into automotive, test and measurement, home appliance, cellular phones, agriculture, and I think that it's one of those, it's the type of product that a lot of people don't think about. But it's something that is really compliant critical, especially when you think about the industries that I just talked about that we support, okay? From a manufacturing standpoint, you think about manufacturing, right? It's supposed to be pretty simple. You've got your blueprint, you've got your specifications, manufacture the parts, you inspect the parts, you ship the parts. Pretty simple, right? And GM Nameplate did a great job with that for many, many years, and had a lot of successes. One thing about a family-owned company is that you have a lot of people that have been there for a very long time. A lot of folks right out of high school. A lot of people, this is their first real job that they had, right? And when you have manufacturing, you've got tooling shops, you've got people that are machine operators that have been there for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. There's a lot of people that are kind of, I'll just say it, that are stuck in their ways, that don't really want to embrace change, right? And that's something that we encountered right away. I do want to ask real quick, out of everyone here, how many have had some sort, whether the company you're at now or previous organization, have engaged with some type of consultant that came into your organization to look at how you do things and maybe give you some advice? Pretty good amount of people. I'll tell you that when, by the time Excellent Cultures came, they were our fourth. They were our fourth group that came in to take a look at our process, to meet with our team. And it started with the senior management team. And you kind of go through the process, get your binder, get your notebooks, everyone's excited, you do a bunch of team exercises, you feel good, you walk away from a day and everyone kind of is saying the buzzwords that you learned. And as time goes by, a week goes by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, all of a sudden, what happens? Right back to where we were. Right back to where we were. And it's almost something that we kind of don't want to talk about because part of us is embarrassed that we spent the time and the money and the resources to go through and do it, right? I'll tell you, and Dale probably remembers, when they first came, I was the guy. And you've all seen this guy in the meetings. I was this guy that sat in the back of the room, arms folded. This isn't gonna work. This is a waste of my time. I should be in meetings right now. I've got a team that I gotta take care of. I got customers that are calling me. I'm gonna get back to my desk. I'm gonna have 200 emails. When is this over? When's break happening, right? I was that guy. And by the second day, I knew these guys were different. And I knew it because they took the time to invest in us on a human being level. I had a mentor, still stay in touch with, one of just a great guy. His name's Rick Jones, the first guy that I worked for. And he told me, Paul, always remember that on the other side of every interaction, there's a human being. It's not a business. It's not Boeing or John Deere or Lockheed Martin or any big customer. It's a human being on the other side of that interaction. And the reason Excellent Cultures just really stood out to me personally was because they took the time to do that. They took the time to get to know our business. They get the time to know our structure and how we worked. And they took the time to ask us questions on what worked and what failed. That's what really impressed me, was what has not worked for you in the past. And believe me, that was a big list, okay? Flip side of that is, we weren't in really bad shape when Excellent Cultures came along. We had just won our first Boeing Supplier of the Year award, right? So not only was I sitting back in the back of the room with this, saying we don't need them, I was just the guy, that Steve's talking about, that thought everything was wonderful, everything's great. Look, man, we just got our first Boeing Supplier of the Year award. You know how rare that is? Out of 17,000 suppliers, we were one of 12 that got that award. We were pretty cocky, and we felt like we really didn't need their help. As soon as we did that circumflex, and I'll tell you, I'm kind of glad that Steve didn't put mine up. I'll share with you, it was extremely humbling because I thought, man, everyone on my team loves me, everything is great, I've got no problems, I got a team that's here every day, showing up, doing great work. But I realized also looking to get to that supplier of the year, the road that we took to get there was incredibly difficult. It was extremely tasking because I had to be on people, my boss had to be on me to be on people. Everyone was stressed out. We got there, we won it, we had a big celebration, everything was great. But how are we going to sustain that culture? How are we going to grow that into something that was going to be truly excellent? Well, we realized pretty quickly when we did that circumflex that we needed some help. And like I said, these guys were different. They were the ones that, said to us, you have to look at it on a human being level. And when I saw that, I said to myself, yeah, this is humbling, but I also asked myself, is this what I want to be as a leader within this organization? Is this what I want us to be? When I saw the circumflex of our organization. And we said to ourselves, okay, we can do better. We made a decision, a collective decision. And it wasn't just a decision within management, because I think some of you probably here know that if a decision is made just on a management level, and if you don't have all the employees vested in that decision, it's not going to get a whole lot of traction. It may last for a little bit, may get a little bit of growth, may see some incremental improvements. But how are you going to scale that if you want to grow as an organization? So what we did is we invested the time, we invested the resources. As Steve mentioned, it's actually been 7 years now since we've been engaged with this group. One of the things that we really wanted to see, and what made us realize these guys were different, was when we laid out our charter to improve, we decided, what do we want to be? What do we want to be? Second is, how are we going to get there? What's our strategy to get there? And third is, how are we going to measure it, right? Is it just everyone feels better? Is it we're making more money? Higher customer satisfaction? Lower turnover? Right? We put all these things on a big board and we said, these are the things that matter to us as a team and as a culture. These are the things that we value, right? So over the course of time, we went through that, and I'll share with you that by embracing this, our results from this, since we've done so, I can share with the aerospace group, we have had less than 1% turnover since 2011. Less than 1% turnover since 2011, right? That's something that's incredible. It's something that I'm extremely proud of, because I think everyone here knows what the true, hopefully knows what the true cost of turnover really is within an organization. It's not just the time to rehire and retrain somebody. It's all the things that go with that. Re-educating your customers, re-educating them to a system, right? Another thing that we saw was within our bottom line. I've always felt that if you take care of your people, right, and this is something that Excellent Cultures helped us with, take care of your people, they're going to take care of your customers, and the earnings are going to start to take care of themselves. It's something I believed in, but I never really saw it happen until we had our engagement with Excellent Cultures, right? So we've been coming on our 7th year now, and our waste reduction is off the charts. Quality and delivery right now over 99%, right? Quality and delivery now is over 99%. People are engaged because they realized through this process, they saw firsthand that we're going to not just listen to their feedback, but now we're going to listen to their ideas on how we can improve, right? And over the last 5 years, I'll share with you that we've got a program at GM where every month people are recognized for whatever their ideas are for improvement. And usually it's, they get a monetary award for that. But every single person that's got that has told me that by participating in these kind of programs, now they're vested. It's that recognition that they get from their peers and from leadership. They contributed to that. There's no question that it's hard work. There's no question that this is a time and an investment. And when Steve asked me if I'd be interested to come and share our story, I jumped at the chance, frankly, because like I said, I was the guy in the back of the room, arms folded, thinking that it wasn't going to work. And I am proud to tell you that, when Dale shared the story with me about the gentleman that put his circumflex up, I was a little bit nervous to do it, but I did it. I didn't have the huge printout that guy did, but it was just an 8.5 by 11 right there by my cube, by my name. And it was a reminder for me that I had to continue to do better. And trying to lead by example within our organization is something that we took really, really seriously. And again, it's proven itself. Our customer surveys have been phenomenal. Our turnover rate has dropped drastically, right? It's shown in our bottom line and our profitability and our growth. And our customer satisfaction surveys, the numbers keep improving. And we really have excellent cultures to thank for that. Since then, I'll share with you, we've won 7 consecutive Performance Excellence Awards. We've been awarded Company of the Year by John Deere, Supplier of the Year 3 additional times by the Boeing Company. And I share that with you out of humility because I honestly do not believe that it would have been possible without engaging with excellent cultures, because now we have something that we're not killing ourselves to get to. It's something that's almost, dare I say, effortless, because it's become part of our culture and our consciousness that we want to work towards every day.